Well, the Suitors meant to be part of this season's Bachelorette are considering lawsuits against ABC and Warner Brothers after their season was abruptly canceled. The move comes after video from 2023 surfaced of this year's star, Taylor Frankie Paul, throwing chairs and assaulting her ex-partner. The season premiere was supposed to be this past Sunday.
All right, joining us now, our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, there's a lot of belief since the video was already out there, or at least they knew about this, that ABC should have been aware. Do the people who are on the show, do they have any claims saying, hey, wait a minute, you scheduled the show knowing that this was a potential?
Yeah, there are a number of potential claims. Now, potential claims.
Okay,
so you got fraud, fraudulent inducement, negligent misrepresentation, emotional distress, either intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress, lost opportunity, and public damages. The only issue is most of those potential claims that these folks have would, I think, fail instantly. First one, fraud or fraudulent inducement. That will fail with a motion for 12b6, failure to state a claim that is based in some type of law. If they sue ABC/Warner Brothers, at some point they'll file that motion to dismiss. I think the court easily grants that. That negligent misrepresentation, that's extremely hard to prove. It's broad discretion. They as in the studios, have broad discretion over casting, and so I think that one is going to be extremely limited. The emotional distress, they must show that it's extreme and outrageous. Their act of canceling the show's not extreme and outrageous, so I think that fails as a matter of law. And then the lost opportunity, it's not recoverable. The treat will count any type of potential loss as speculative damages. You haven't received any past checks. You can't really point to a dollar amount that you yourself would have received, even if you could point to another person that was similarly situated that received that type of amount for doing this type of show. Not the check that they get for being on the show, but the potential revenue streams that they could get from advertising. It would be case-by-case basis. You can't point to loss potential outcome. So I think the court would find that one is not recoverable as well. So all those claims for potential cast contestants, I think would be hard to prove. But there are claims, ABC versus the lead. Yeah, I think they have potential claims against her. That may be another avenue, but I don't think that any of those contestants have a chance at being successful against ABC.
I would hate to be a contestant taking on the big fish of ABC. That's a tough one. But a lot of big networks have moral clauses in their contracts, right? If a scandal emerges, they can cancel or they can fire someone. Can these contestants though flip the script and go, you knew about this video's been out a couple of years, you had her put on a pedestal, and then now all this is being canceled, if you will. Can they say, moral clause, we want something for damages?
The entire premise of the show is placing the person on the pedestal so everyone else flocks towards her, right? But I think that I totally agree. They have those morality clauses that will be baked in the contract. But I go to the end of my point towards Julian. It's the clause is going to be ABC towards the lead, because that's how they can get out of the contract. That's how they can breach the contract. That's how they can be able to remove her from the show and not have to fall or fail for anything. But also that morality clause would probably allow some type of force majeure that's allowing these advertising companies that already had contracts signed to advertise throughout the entirety of the season to be able to step away because, look, this is there. We're going to be able to breach our contract. Thank you. Give us our money back.
And you kind of mentioned advertisers, but there were some hotels and other companies that had, comped stays and everything like that for being highlighted in the show. Could those companies then come after ABC?
It depends on what the nature of their comp was. I mean, you potentially could, but then this is if you're in the room and you're advising them, those hotels, do you want to go up against David versus Goliath again, even though you yourself are Goliath, and then ruin a relationship? So yeah, we go after you, we sue you for the hotels that we comped you for the potential of getting some added revenue for being connected to the show. But then now we burn our bridge for the next 20 seasons of some other show. If you're in the room, you're probably advertising or advising them not to do that. The only lawsuit that I see is likely to succeed is if ABC decided to sue her. That's where I think there will be a successful claim. All these other ones are really, really far stretched.
But even then, they would have a tough time because Taylor Frankie Paul, you knew what this was. You knew who I was before you signed me.
Yes and no. And so then I think if they properly vetted her and they did the investigation, they looked at the video, that's great. But if they failed to do a number of those things, like you said, that's going to be on them. But if there was something that was discovered after that, I think, again, all of these claims are hard. I think that's the only one that has even a percentage of passing summary disposition.
Okay.
Well, there you go. I think this conversation has more drama than what the show would have probably given in a full season. Just saying.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.